Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Um, John Murphy here with Bluestone Partners, and I am so excited. I finally get to meet Rachelle Allen personally because I've heard so much about you over, oh goodness, it's got to be at least a year now. Welcome. Thanks for taking the time, Rachelle. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for asking me. Happy to be here.
So how long has it been? I'm wondering. I remember hearing about you. Mike told me all about you, and some of the guys at Castor Rabbit talked about you. So
yeah, I think the summer of 2020 that I started working with Mike.
Yeah, so it's a little over a year.
Yeah.
So everybody, a little background. Rachelle is with RBC. She's from up above in Canada.
And True North, strong and free.
What's that?
True North, strong and free.
Right. And so what would you describe yourself? Financial advisor, wealth manager? How would you describe who you are and what you do?
I definitely would put myself into the financial planner category, wealth management. So I've been in the industry for over 15 years. My practice focuses on business owners and incorporated professionals.
So a little background for everyone to understand. Mike and I ventured out on our own, creating Bluestone Partners. Mike Murphy, my son, and I'm John Murphy. And we worked for years, a number of years, with Castor Rabbit, our good friends there, still good friends. We still partner with them on many things, and love those guys. They have a more robust offer than we have here. Their offer is a little bit more robust in the sense that they're building processes and systems and marketing with ads and the whole complete done for you offer, which is really, really cool, by the way. And we are a little more simple, offering 2-3 new clients a month using our TextTonality method on LinkedIn. And that's what I wanted to talk to you, Rachelle, today about, and get your experience, your story a little bit, so that folks who possibly are looking at us for our help might gain something from this interview. So let's take a time trip back a little more than a year and a half ago.
Sure.
And we're looking at strategies, ways, plans in order to gain new clients. So if you can remember back at that time, what was going on in your work life that had you looking for help?
Well, so I'm assuming this is like pre-pandemic or around the time of the pandemic.
Well, it had to be yeah. Well, yeah. No, let's see. Summer of 2020 was in the midst, right?
Right. So we were, a few months into the pandemic, when everything was shutting down. In person, anything wasn't possible. So I'm like, well, how am I going to keep growing my business if I can't get out and meet people? And so that's when I decided to hop on a call with Castor Rabbit to just chat about their LinkedIn offer. So because obviously it's important to keep growing, keep bringing assets in, keep helping people. And so their offer was really appealing, which was really led by Mike Murphy, your son, which is, I think, how he came to be over at Castor Rabbit. So that's the history of how I came to be really familiar with Mike Murphy and the whole TextTonality offering.
So let's back up a little bit further. You're working, okay. There's a reason why, though, you start looking for help. What were the strategies and the methods you were using prior?
I was doing a lot of dinner seminars, right? So, inviting a number of people out to have a nice steak, to listen to me, speak on a topic for an hour, to hopefully gain a few clients that way. So, obviously, that wasn't possible. I remember I did have a dinner seminar scheduled for March of 2020, and we had sent out like all of the mail outs, and then, we had to cancel everything. So, again, just to like, how do I keep my business growing in the midst of not being able to go out and see people face to face, but still wanting to connect?
Yeah. So the dinner seminars get shut down. Then what do you do?
Well, then I actually did. I'm like, okay, well, people can still talk on the phone. So, for a few weeks there, I was actually cold calling, maybe for about a month, and I just like hated every second of it. So, I kept seeing the ads for the LinkedIn. So I finally, booked a call, and that's how I came to be meeting
So,
with Mike.
so you sign up, and it's like anything that you sign up for. I guess there's a bit of an excitement, right? I
Hmm.
hope this is going to work.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
guess in your mind too, there's some doubt, right? Did I make a good decision here? What was going through your mind when you first started? And I know we're going back a little bit. What was going through
Hmm.
your mind when you first started working with Mike?
Um, my first thoughts were, oh, like, are people going to want to connect with me on LinkedIn? Like, are they going to want to hear from me? Like, I don't want to seem like I'm bombarding them. So there definitely was a little bit of hesitancy, but you just have to start, right? And once you start connecting, start sending out messages and getting, good feedback, it obviously like builds that confidence and gives you that motivator to keep driving forward.
What was it like to work with Mike? How was he to work with as far as, okay, so we talk about our TextTonality messaging system,
Hmm.
but that incorporates a lot of things, right? There's your profile, there's your list, there's that initial message, and then there's that conversation going on after the
Right.
initial message, right? So there's kind of like what was it like to work with Mike on building that whole process?
I would say Mike made it really easy. Whenever I would get stuck, I would reach out to him. Like at the time, we were having those group calls. So I'd hop on one of those calls, and he always had great ideas and was able to just come up with things like off the top of his head so quickly, which I think is probably to do with his journalism background, which has been such a real asset um, in the TextTonality methodology, because he's just so great at being creative and really honing in on um, the pain points that people are experiencing and what our solution would be, and giving people a reason as to why they would want to talk to me.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I do remember having dinner with him one night, and I remember you texting him. Um, I'm not quite sure the platform you were using, but he's laughing, and I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "That's Rachelle. She's got this message from a client, a prospective client." And do you remember those times when you would have a message, and you're thinking to yourself, "I don't know what to say to this."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I remember him even. I just remember your name coming up a couple times, and it's funny. I was his first client, so I'm working
Nice.
for Cast Rabbit.
Hmm.
The ads were down for a little while, and so it was kind of quiet. And I asked Mike to help me, and I would have the same thing. I'd say, "Hey, Mike, here's a message that I'm thinking to send back," and he'd go, "No, no, 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 no." And
Yeah,
then he would give me a message. I think, "Why didn't I think of that? It was so
I
simple,"
know.
but I didn't, and I wouldn't,
Hmm.
and I would have sent the wrong one. So yeah, I'm thinking you had a similar experience.
Oh, I did, yeah. And a few times I was like, "Oh, you want me to say what?" And and yeah, but it always turned out to have a positive outcome. Yeah, no, he's just like so good with thinking on his feet and on the fly, and really like just sending out the right message. So and I really appreciated all the times that he still helps me actually today. And he's just so responsive, and just always knows the right thing to say.
Yeah, I'm pretty amazed with that too. And
Hmm.
yeah, the creativity, the messaging. And would you say though, even though he's so good at it, after working with him, I feel as if I've gotten better at it.
Hmm.
Would you say the same?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't I don't know if I'll ever be as good as Mike, but maybe a fraction.
that's kind of what I say too. So you you've um you've you've grown since then.
Hmm.
Things have been good.
Hmm.
When when you look back at the investment of time and energy that you put in with Mike, you feel it's been worth it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've actually the time the I would say the assets and the revenue that I have generated has definitely outweighed the time that I've spent. I've been able to really even refine my own skill set, which has been great. And really working on, when you're speaking to people, really trying to find their pain points, right? So it's been a really great experience overall, one that's been really positive, and it's only helped me build my business and just refine and keep getting better myself.
So when you think of life today and you compare it to life just before you started working with Mike,
Hmm.
how's it changed? Like is your vision for the future changed, and from those
um
days of cold calling to today?
yeah, I would say it's definitely easier, I'd say, than getting up and putting on a dinner seminar, like doing the mail outs. It's so it's good in that way. It's definitely a lot more easier than cold calling. It's definitely less expensive than dinner seminars and such. And I feel like it's a strategy where you can, I'll be able to use this strategy for as long as I want, right? And it's one too where, I could, I've recently hired someone so to take over my LinkedIn prospecting. So it's one that is transferable. And I should say too, I was talking to Mike about that, and he also said, like, if she needs any help with that, like, please have her reach out. So he's always available, which is really nice. Um, but I think the probably the point is that the LinkedIn strategy is one that you can just continuously like, it's such a great platform to prospect, and I think it's just one that will bring in endless benefits.
So the promise we make to our prospective clients is that we'd like to see you, and I like to think of it as conservative, and you can tell me, and I haven't asked you this before, so but I'm hoping it's true. With you, is 2 clients a month? Is that a reasonable and predictably month after month, if you take the plan and you implement it, and
Hmm.
I tell them it's about 45 minutes a day, maybe an hour a day, each every
Hmm.
morning. You go through the process, implement the process. Uh, there should be enough meetings and
Yeah.
a decent close ratio, maybe even 20%. Wouldn't you say 2 clients a month is a is a good promise?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I think the key to the 2 clients a month is that you have to do it, and you have to, you know, make sure you're doing it consistently and work on it every day. And I think that's the key to anything in life, right? It's just you have to commit, you have to show up every day, and you have to, you know, you have to do it. As long as you're
You
doing
do.
those things, then
Yeah.
everything else will follow
If you do it.
if you do it.
Is it hard?
No, it's not.
So anyone looking at this, and that's who's going to be looking at this. I'm going to send this
Yeah.
to prospective clients who are on the fence, thinking about us. Should we join Bluestone? Should we join Mike and John? What advice would you give them if you were able to talk to them?
Oh, I would say, yeah, it's definitely worth the call. And you can't, like, I just feel like with Mike's expertise, like there's no way that people can fail, right? Because at the outset, you're taking the time to figure out your niche market, to figure out what the pain points are in your niche market. And if you have a message that is appealing to your niche market in terms of, you know, they hear you with the pain points that they're suffering, you know, your message comes right in and solves that. And so as long as you know, you do kind of that homework and that legwork up front, then there's no reason why you can't bring on like 2 to 3 clients a month.
Yep, that's what we tell them.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure really when we get clients like you who, you know, follow the advice, take the advice, take action on that advice, and then get the results. I mean,
Right.
we've worked with a lot of financial advisors, and we're now reaching out to some M&A and different coaches, high ticket type coaches, and when I talk to financial advisors too, they talk about how when they get a really good client, not that you become the closest, bestest friends in the world, but you do develop a relationship, and it's kind
Yeah,
of a
of course.
friendship because you both have a common goal, and you both are, I don't know, getting there and achieving it together. So it's a lot of fun. So it's such a pleasure to circle back with
Oh,
with
thanks,
you,
John.
Rachelle, and clients like you, because I mean, I'm sure you have that experience too with your clients when they
Oh,
actually follow your
definitely.
advice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing what happens when people, you know, follow advice, or even like our clients follow the advice. And the same thing with Bluestone. Just do what Mike and John tell you.
Yeah. Rachelle, thank you so much for taking time today. I
Oh,
really
thanks,
appreciate
John.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, my
it's
pleasure.
my pleasure to meet you personally for the first time,
Yeah.
and look forward to continuing to work with you in the future. And yeah, let us help you with your assistant too. That's another great thing. I'm
Hmm.
glad you brought that up too,
Yeah.
because some of the items are kind of easy, but it's that messaging at the end that's going to be a little
Hmm.
difficult for your
That's
assistant.
right.
Yeah, once we get that text tonality messaging down, yeah, she'll be doing it too, right?
Yeah. No, and I appreciate Mike's offer to help. It's, you know, it's nice to know that I have that resource.
All right. Well, again, thanks, Rochelle.
Okay.
Appreciate the
Thanks,
time
John.
today, and look forward to hearing more about your success in the future.